Hey guys, Paul Reed fan here. Today we are going to rank the top 10 point guards. This is the first video of a series where I'm going to rank the top 10 players of every position, going 1 through 5. And today we're just doing point guards. Shooting guards video will be up sometime after this one, and so on and so forth. Anyway, let's jump right into it. Now, I think the point guards were the hardest. Right around the 10 spot, it was the hardest to see who I would leave off and who would actually get in that top 10. Now, I'm just going to go over some people that just missed the 10 spot. Starting with Cade. Maybe if he was on a better team and produced better. We'll see what he does this year, but I don't have Cade there yet. Just production and everything isn't there. I understand that he's the only good player. I have Jrue Holiday. That might be a hot take, but I think he is not the least important to the Celtics starting five, but I think that he benefits greatly. I don't think that his skills have changed that much from a year earlier on the Bucks. So I would say it's like he wasn't a top 10 point guard then. He's not a top 10 point guard now just because he's on the best constructed team in the NBA. So Jrue's just off, even though I love Jrue. Efficient from three and one of the best defenders still. Anyway. This is one of the tough ones. I did not have Jamal Murray on. Now, I don't know it's because in the Olympics and the playoffs, I knew he was hurt, but it wasn't DeJounte's best game. Like the way we've seen him elevate, but I don't think. Did I say DeJounte? I meant Jamal Murray. Oops. Yeah, I just don't think Jamal Murray is top 10. He's right outside. Other people is LaMelo Ball not there. Maybe just because he's never healthy. I don't have this. A lot of this list is, and all these lists are not going to be based off health concerns. So I still have extremely unhealthy players in a lot of these lists up high, as you'll see today, and so on. But I just Melo. Even when he's healthy, I don't think he's better than a lot of these guys. I think he doesn't raise a team skill that much. And last is DeJounte Murray. This is my easiest cut out of all these guys to not put 10. But I decided to still, shout him out. Say, you're pretty good too. Anyway, let's get it going. At number 10, we have Trae Young from the Atlanta Hawks. So yeah, if you can obviously put together, he is above Cade, Jamal, Melo, Jrue Holiday, and DeJounte Murray. He's above all of them. Now, let's just go over some quick things. He's 25 years old, 6 feet flat, 160 pounds. Small guy. So much skill. Last year, he averaged 25.7 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 10.8 assists on 43, 37, 85 shooting. I think Trae Young is one of the best offensive engines in the league. He constantly has churned out just amazing offenses. And obviously the combination with him and DeJounte did not work. It didn't work. They would literally feel like, okay, this quarter, who's going to be our main ball handler? Is it going to be Trae Young or is it going to be DeJounte? They couldn't work together. And that's somewhat because of the reason that Trae Young is not a very good off-ball player. I think if he was able to tap into a little bit more off-ball, better movement, that might be also coaches drawing him up some just off-ball plays and then just him getting the flow of that. I think that would raise his game to another level. And another reason I have him here over all those guys, such as Jrue Holiday and who I really had close, is that one of his biggest detractors his entire career is that he is a bad defender. He was a below-average defender last year. Not bad. I think you saw him turn up on defense much more. Okay. If I'm doing a 100-point scale, it went from 10 to 40, 10 to 45. No, I mean, which is a big improvement, and he could say that they're competitive. I don't think he could be completely non-existent on that end. So yeah, I really like Trae Young. I think he's very good. I think the Hawks are going to have a good season this year with Ricochet, and again, I think I've said this before, but the Hawks are going to be. It's going to be addition by subtraction with DeJounte. They're going to get back to their roots on just leaning on Trae Young, shooting the most efficient 30.3 ball in the history of the game. 30 feet ball, not 3-pointer, 30-foot ball. He pulls up from so deep so consistently, and he actually hits him. He's crazy. But yeah, that's Trae Young. Love Trae Young. Love Trae Young. Next at 9, I have, maybe controversial, I don't know, Damian Lillard. Now, this is tough because Damian Lillard is the second greatest shooter of all time, and he's still not completely washed. Last year, it was not very good. He's 34 years old, 6'2", 195 pounds, and 24.3 points last year, 4.4 rebounds, and 7 assists on 42, 35, 92. I don't know. Him and Dame and that entire Bucks offense, they switched coaches 30 games, something in. Nothing was cemented. He was hurt at the end of the season. It was just, I couldn't put him any higher, and I couldn't take him off the list, so he lands here, right above Trae, just because of historically. Who would I rather right now is Trae Young. It's so weird. Last year, I mean, if you told me 2 years ago that Damian Lillard was going to be arguable to not be a top 10 point guard, I'd be shocked. But I think that the Bucks are going to have a bounce-back year. He'll have a bounce-back year. I think he's still very capable of shooting 40% from 3 on high volume. He went down from that, but I don't know. It wasn't. He's older now, so he's not getting any younger, and they just didn't gel very well. So I have him at 9, but I am still very positive. I still think that Dame can tap into those MVP seasons on important nights, especially the playoffs. It's just about keeping him and Giannis healthy for the Bucks, and trying to cement an offensive and defensive culture and a strategy there for next year, which I think they will. This offseason, they have a whole nother season together. 9 for Dame. Anyway, next, I have my boy, Tyrese Maxey. Now, I don't know if it's... A lot of people have homer picks where they'll overrate teams, such as, for an example, last year, all the Eagles fans I was talking to were saying, we're getting past the Bucks in the first round easy. I said, I think we're losing by 10. And I don't remember exactly what we lost by because I just turned it off. But I didn't think we were going to win that game, and everyone talks about an upset. I think I'm very realistic about my team. I didn't think we were going to win the Knicks series. I think I'm very realistic about my teams and players. Like I don't argue that Joel is top 1. I don't even think I argue he's top 2. I think Giannis is still above him. And same with Luka. I think he can float around there and go up a little bit, but I think he's cemented top 4, and he kind of moves around 2 and 3 for me. And I don't think that that's just a little tangent on bias. So I don't have Maxey above a lot of players. I have him at 8. Maxey at 8. He's 23 years old, so extremely young. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. He averaged 25.6 points last year, around 4 rebounds and 6 assists. And I'm not even going to touch on efficiency because his efficiency did drop a little with not playing with Joel, obviously. And I think it's just not important. He's a good 3-point shooter, and he is one of the best finishers around the rim, like tough shot makers around the rim. Like, he contorts his body and he gets balls perfectly up. It is insane to watch how good he is going downhill and going at the rim. Even at like Hard-Stein last year, he would just flip the ball up. Insane around the rim. I think he can move up this year. I think he could be maybe at 6 when the year is over if he really, really turns on. I think he might be the number 1 scorer this year. Like dark horse. I still think Joel is betting odds, at least in my mind, betting odds will be the leading scorer this year for the Sixers. But I think Maxey has a very real chance. I think he's going to take another step as just a primary scorer above Paul George, above everyone. And he's gotten better every year. His defense improved last year. He's at now just like an average defender, not like good, not above average, just an average defender. And I think that's awesome too, that he's not like a super negative there. And he also got buff. I mention this every time, but imagine if he keeps this speed with a little more weight on him, going into people's chests. He would not get called fouls for all the contact he would go into. If Damian Lillard was going 100 miles per hour and jumping into Isaiah Hartenstein and flipping the ball up while also getting contact back, he would get a call. Not Maxey. I don't know why. I don't know if it's some internal things of the refs where Joel is already getting sometimes that superstar whistle, mostly that superstar whistle. So we can't have two guys getting it. I don't know, but I think his free throw numbers will go up a little bit this year. It's part of the game. I think he's going to be very, very, very good. He's the most fun player to watch, and he's tough as hell with his cornrows. Bring back the black jerseys, please. Don't bring them back next year. Somehow retcon it this year, Sixers. Please. Anyway, Maxey at 8, really good. Also, I guess I will explain it a little bit why I have players over the players. Maxey was just better Dame last year in general, from points to helping in the playoffs to defense, everything. He's also younger, quicker. And Trey was next to DeJounte, who is an all-star caliber player. And Trey, their team sucked, and I don't think they were very good last year. I just think Trey's still a very good player. Anyway, Maxey's above them. Next, at 7, I have Tyrese Halliburton. Now, if you had pre-injury Tyrese Halliburton, he might be like 5. He was unconscious. But near the end of the year, his shot tendency went down, his percentages went down, and he became much more pass first and a little slower some games because of that hamstring injury. Now, he's only 24 years old. He's a big point guard. He's 6'5", and he's 196 pounds. He averaged 20 points last year, 4 rebounds, and 10.9 assists, basically 11 assists a game on 47, 36, 85. Now, last year, as the number one option for their team, he took 15 shots a game. That dropped to sometimes like 10 or lower in the playoffs. He needs to still be that main engine. He's a pass-first guy, and he lost a little bit of step because of the hamstring injury. I think him fully healthy, and the back injury that he's been dealing with, like, for the Olympics and stuff. Really weird. But I really like Halliburton. I think he is a very good offensive engine. I think that if he keeps his scoring, if he gets his scoring from 20 to 25, with also keeping like the same like assist numbers, I think he's ridiculous because he also is not a bad defender with his size. He runs a very good team. They get out running. I think the Pacers are fun this year. I think they are going to take a step back just as a team, just because a bunch of other teams are getting better. But I still think that Halliburton is a very good player, and I just keep harping back, remembering when we had an option between James Harden and Tyrese Halliburton, and we decided to go with James Harden. Imagine this team right now if it was Halliburton, Maxey at the 2 guard, which I think he's better at, by the way. Maxey should be a 2 guard. He's not exactly a very amazing playmaker. I think he's okay. But I think him being a shooting guard, just scoring and doing other stuff, I think that's why we might actually have to see a lot of Kyle Lowry this year with just bringing the ball up and stuff. A little tangent on Maxey. Anyway, like imagine Halliburton, Maxey, Paul George, and then like Caleb Martin or Yabusele or someone else with Joel there. That would be a championship roster team. Right now, I think we have a Eastern Conference Finals team. Maybe championship is like a championship game is like a pipe dreamish, not like a hope. But with Halliburton too, imagine instead of James Harden, we got Tyrese Halliburton. Whatever, it's okay. Daryl Morey has made a good team. Anyway, enough on Halliburton. Let's go next. 6, Ja Morant. I know it's weird to put him this high even though he's been injured and suspended last year. So we haven't seen him really play at all. But on those 9 games he did play last year, it was 25 points a game, 5.6 rebounds, and 8.1 assists. I'm not going to harp on the field goal percentage or the 3-point percentage, even though it was good. Ja Morant brings this Grizzlies team to new heights. Shout out Kelsey's. He brings them so much better. Ja Morant is a very, very good NBA player. I still see some conversations about Ant or Ja Morant, and Ant is obviously cemented himself there. But as we haven't seen him in a while, I think Ja Morant is going to cement himself as another amazing all-star player this year, leading the Grizzlies to a very formidable team. They're getting Bane back. They're getting Jaren Jackson Jr. back. Gigi Jackson's out for 3 months, but when he's back, he'll be a solid role player. They're getting Zach Edey. The Grizzlies are going to be amazing on defense, and they're going to be amazing on offense with Ja being the head of that offense. And, I mean, he's just going to go and fucking dunk on someone. Can't not love that. Just please don't record yourself with firearms or point lasers at ongoing passers. Anyway, that's Ja Morant. Number 5, get top 5 here. We have De'Aaron Fox. I think De'Aaron Fox is one of the best all-around point guards in the league. He's 26, 6'3", and 185 pounds. And last year he averaged 26.6 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 5.6 assists on 46, 37, 73. I mean, he could do literally everything. He's a good defender. He's an above-average defender in my eyes. He can score the ball on all 3 levels. He can get people involved in the passing, even though that's obviously Sabonis' job. He is the fastest player in the league, so that change of speed, which Luka is so good at stopping on a dime, he's good at speeding that up. I think Fox is a great player, still young. He is a franchise player. He can be a number 1 on good efficiency. That's something that Maxey can't do. That's one of the things. I guess I can harp on Maxey, why he's so low. Even though I was thinking about putting Maxey 5 just because of my bias, but I decided to objectify it. And I know I'm talking so much about Maxey, but I just love him so much. I love him so much. Anyway, De'Aaron Fox at 5. The Kings are going to be okay this year, but I think De'Aaron is going to keep that awesomeness, the shooting, the pull-up 3, the awesome just putting people behind him and then getting to the rim. De'Aaron Fox is a fantastic player. So good. The Kings I don't like Sabonis I think that he caps your ceiling. I think that's one of the biggest problems with the Kings. I think when they go up against playoff competition, he cannot raise his game at being so physically challenged to defend these better teams in the paint, etc. I would rather Jared Allen be their center. Call me crazy. I'm so sorry I said that. No offense to Sabonis. Now, right here is kind of where I drew a line when ranking all these guys. We just crossed over into the elite tier. 4 through 1 is the elite tier for the point guards. Now, I really didn't want to do this, but yeah, 4. Again, these are elite. I wanted to preface this before I started. Number 4, I have Stephen Curry. I know. The greatest shooter of all time, the best off-ball mover of all time, is still tapping into his prime easily. Unbelievable player. He's 36 years old, but he's so good. I didn't get super into his actual statistics because we know who Steph Curry is. They wouldn't have been in that play-in spot if Draymond didn't fuck over the team, because that tandem is still unbelievable. Now, as the Warriors overall, again, it's going to be a carry job for Curry, even more than it has been any other year. And he is still unbelievable. I mean, I love Stephen Curry. What we just saw him in the Olympics, absolutely light shit up the last 2 games. Put the USA on his back. Say goodnight to France. Fuck them. Fuck French people. Except Yabusele. And Wemby, who's the GOAT. My GOAT. Excuse me. But yeah, Stephen Curry at 4. I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, but he is 36. And he is not the same player, but he's still that caliber player. Anyway. Number 3 is Jalen Brunson. I mean, I don't think... I love Jalen Brunson. I hate the Knicks fans. I hate Knicks fans. They are such assholes. So mean. No one... And they love injuries. Even the ones I know, like, out of, like, internet stuff. Like, I'm just praying for Joel to get injured. Completely dead ass. I'm like, God, I hate you all Knicks fans. Fuck you. I do love their energy. Like, when they, like, chanted, fuck Joel, and they're, like, all, like, fucking running through the streets. I like that. I just don't like their attitudes toward... They genuinely are pieces of shit, a lot of them. Not all of them. But, yeah, even, like, when Joel did that off the backboard dunk where his knees exploded and his, like... We saw his cerebral palsy or whatever it was called. His eye fucked up. The first text I got was, that's what he deserves. I go, God damn it, shut the fuck up. I never pray for it, like, injuries. Actually, I like the Knicks teams. I like almost all of the players minus Dante DiVincenzo, you fake black bitch. He's white, but, you know. Like, I like Hartenstein. I like the Blackness Monster. I love Josh Hart. I love Brunson. I love Mikal Bridges. I like OG Anunoby. I don't love Julius Randle. But I like the Knicks team. I really like him. And bring it back to Brunson. He's 28 years old, and he is the best point guard in the East. One of the best point guards in the league, obviously. I have him 3. He's 6'1". I mean, I've heard from, obviously, Kenny Beecham. I guess I'll shout out some of my favorite content creators on sports at the end here. But, like, he said that when he met him, he felt like he was looking at him eye to eye, and Kenny Beecham is like 5'7". He said Jalen Brunson is like 6 feet tall, and he uses that size, 188 pounds, to be so good. He uses it perfectly. Last year he averaged 28.7 points, 3.6 rebounds, and 6.7 assists on 48, 40, and 85 shooting. That is great shooting splits. He's an offensive engine, and like. He's ridiculous. He's ridiculous. His counting stats might take a step back just because they're getting Randall back and they're getting Mikal. But I still think he's going to be the best player on this team and like lead it to where they can be. My biggest problem, and I can say this with Joel too, is that he was averaging the second most in that series. I think he was averaging 10 free throws per that series, and that was annoying. I know a lot of people like. No, you look at his free throw numbers. He only averaged like 5 a game. No, in that series he was averaging like 10 or 11, right next to Joe. Like Joel and him were getting like annoying whistles. He's the best at getting a defender on his back, and he jumps into them. Joel will feel an arm on his like side, and he just like throws his arms up. It's really hard to guard him. He is one of the best pick and roll players in the league right now. But I still like him. I think he's a clutch shot maker. He has that dog mentality, and he was hitting big shots down the stretch of those games, and during the whole game, every game. Jalen Brunson is awesome to watch. I'm so happy that he's emerged as a star in the league. Okay, next, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 2. Now, what else can I say about Shai other than he's a fantastic player? He's 26 years old, 6'6", 198, and along with being an offensive engine, scoring 39, Lamau, he's amazing at defense. I think, did he lead the league in steals? He was up there for a long time. He was leading the league in steals. He was doing amazing on the defensive end. I know that the season ended on the P.J. Washington foul, which is so stupid. He knew that it was his fault right after. Like, imagine if he doesn't foul there. They could win that series, and then it would be them instead of the Mavs going to the finals. Obviously, you'd win the other series. You know what I mean? But OKC has only gotten better. He's only going to have more options to throw to. And, again, he also averaged 5.5 rebounds a game and 6 assists. And he is an MVP candidate. I don't have him winning, but I have him being up there. I think he's going to be fantastic. Just the problem is that he's not Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic at 1. I don't think this is arguable. If you do have an argument, I'd love to hear it. I don't think it's arguable. Luka Doncic is only 25 years old. 25 years old, and he's already a consensus top 2 player in the league. Top 3, if you're being crazy. He's like 6'6". He's 230. He averaged 34 points last year, 9.2 rebounds, and 9.8 assists. That's so close to a triple-double. He's top 3 easy. He's ridiculous. You see him. He just... I didn't write the efficiency stats down because I mean, just go watch the games. Go watch him torch the Timberwolves defense. Every single time. Drop coverage, he would lead him into a lob, pull it. Oh, he says Jaden Daniels on him. He somehow gets this lengthy defender that's supposed to be more athletic than him. Somehow get him like a little bit of space, pull up, 3 in your face, bang it. Or start driving, fake pass, move people around with your eyes, layup line. He gets everyone involved. He just needs a lob threat, and he can have an elite defense. He's amazing. He saw the defensive intensity, even if it wasn't like great on the court. You saw him get better there in the playoffs. He obviously was hurt, so it wasn't the best. But I mean, I was like, every single facet of the game, he's one of the best players. I think he's fun to watch. I was admittedly rooting against him because I'm on the Ant train, the Timberwolves train. I love Naz Reid. We went to a game, so I was rooting against him in that playoffs. But I was like, I couldn't help but go, God damn it, when he hit that shit in Rudy's face. I feel like every single playoff we have with him, he makes another iconic moment. Shout out that chat. Every single playoff series, he has iconic moments because he's an iconic player, and he's only 25, and he's only going up from here. What are we? We're at 27 minutes? Shit! I gotta start giving myself a time limit for all these guys. I'm trying to keep it under 20. Anyway, not important. That's it. Those are my top 10 point guards. If you're mad, cry about it. And if I didn't mention your guy, it's either because I have him in another position or he didn't make it. Suck my dick. Paul Reed fan out.